Hey guys, welcome back to another broadcast. Today I wanted to actually not do a broadcast. I wanted to just read a little bit tonight, but something came up as usual, and this one I had to do something on a Friday night with this. So for those of you who are on Twitter, follow the Twitter drama. I don't even know if I would call this drama. This is actually really kind of important. Marvel's Moon Knight writer Max Bemis, today he told fans, "I effing hate you personally," on Twitter. So because I recently purchased the first two issues of Moon Knight, I was like, what the heck is going on? So I guess this is in response to Diversity in Comics. Where is it here? Diversity in Comics did a review of the book the other night and called it truly the Inspector Holmes of Kung Fu Madmen. I haven't even seen this review, but apparently it was a good review. And this guy just kind of went off the handle today, and he just said, by the way, if you're looking for SJW undertones in Moon Knight, they're not there. That being said, I effing hate you personally. So I'm assuming he's talking to Diversity in Comics, all of his 50,000 fans, all the overlapping fans with Captain Cummings, Just Some Guy, Underground Geek, Captain Frugal, myself, I Love Comics, everybody else, Nerd Wonder, her friends. So yeah, all these people that don't want ideologues shoving left-wing, politics down in their books, or even for that matter, I guess you could even say if right-wing ideologues existed within the industry. Like for me, I wouldn't want right-wing propaganda in there either. I actually got in a little, back and forth with a couple people today in my own comment section because they apparently want right-wing propaganda in their books. So yeah, this was weird to me. But here's the thing. This morning, after my last broadcast, I did my Doomsday broadcast yesterday. And, I go to bed after answering. I usually stay up for like an hour or two answering questions and that sort of thing. And I woke up this morning and this guy goes, dude, can you stop mentioning Marvel and DC reviews? And I said, no, if I mention Marvel, it's for a reason. If you want a strict retelling of a DC story, there are Storytime YouTube channels for that sort of thing. So this was before Max Bemis's thing to it. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When I do a review and I say, like, listen, DC has created goodwill with its fans, and that's why it could do this, like, Rorschach thing where it's not him, and they know that, like, fans that wanted the original back somehow, some way are going to be like, I don't want to read about some other guy. Guys like me will stick around because they're like, actually, maybe it'll be cool. DC has a pretty good track record, and I want to see what they're doing with it. Again, goodwill. So I mentioned that Marvel does not have goodwill, and I get subscribers. I'm assuming he is a subscriber. Maybe not anymore after I'm calling them out here. But saying like, why are you mentioning Marvel in the same breath as DC? This is why right here, because I know people from Marvel watch my videos. So people seem to always have this myopic view of my channel where they just decide what they would do if they had a YouTube channel. They don't seem to understand that my channel is actually working on multiple levels, and just because I don't necessarily always talk about all the different levels that I'm putting this together for, that they don't exist, but they do. So when I call attention to Marvel alienating fans, doing things to drive fans away, this is what I'm talking about. I effing hate you personally. Marvel writer. And like I said, I bought, I have them right here. I was going to read them. Now I don't even really want to read them. I kind of want to just throw them out. And I never want to buy another book by this guy again. And you know, I tagged CB today on a tweet saying like, this is what you're dealing with, man. This was funny too. So the same guy retweets Midtown Comics saying, "It's a magnificent week in the world of comics, and Henry is here to talk about the greatest books hitting store shelves today. Check it out here." Yeah, same guy who tells fans, "I effing hate you personally," juxtaposed. This is perfect. I love this screenshot right here. I want to save it because I could just use it over and over and over again. He's obviously got 260 fans that like that kind of thing. And so, like I said, I tagged CB in this, and I said, you know, after an author tells thousands of fans, "I effing hate you," then my days of buying his books are over. 2 and out. This is what you need to take care of ASAP, CB. Comicsgate. And let's go into, you know, the dude's feed. These are only a couple little clips here, but our friend Donald J. Thump, he came in and he was like, "This is unprofessional behavior." He tagged Disney. Is why longtime readers such as myself do not read Marvel books. The bottom line is money, and I could spend it on books written by talent that treats fans on social media with respect. Boom. Pretty much every company that's like, you know, a normal up and up company has a social media policy, but apparently Marvel doesn't. You can just say whatever you want if you're writing for them. You could represent them by telling fans that you effing hate them. Some guy, blocked out his name, says, "You should spend your money on a lot of poison. Pause. For yourself." So this is the kind of people, you know, anytime one person out of Diversity in Comics 50,000 says something like out of line, it represents everybody. But you know, this is the kind of people that you'll never see a bleeding cool article about guys like this, fans like this, who are encouraged by writers like Max. You know, if you're immune to criticism from comic book websites, you know, Midtown Comics is never going to call Max to task, never going to call his fans. But, you know, I don't know if some of you guys saw today, Bleeding Cool basically took a shot at Ethan Van Sciver today. Put in parentheses something about, it was a Green Lantern story, and then they put in parentheses like something like, "No matter whatever you think about this guy personally, like yeah, you should kind of like hate this guy." They'll never do that to Max. You know, Max gets a pass because Max doesn't like guys that are, you know, to the right of Joseph Stalin or Kim Jong-un. Let's see. And here's the thing, you know, just some guy and some others came in saying, "Hey, I'll spend my money other places." Bold strategy kind of. Let's see if it pays off for him. Dodgeball. That one actually made me laugh. And more people. You could go through it, but there was a ton of people that were just like, "What? This is like, you know, self-inflicted wounds here." Don't look a gift review in the mouth. So Diversity in Comics actually does a good review that's been viewed 5,000 times, liked 435 times. You know, he's probably got a ton of comments, and there were probably people that were like, "Yeah, I probably want to check out this book." And now, why would you want to check out this book after this guy says this? You know, I don't know what CB is going to do with guys like this. I mean, if he does nothing, this is something that you could take care of right away. You could publicly shame this guy as a boss. You could fire him. You could tell him to apologize. You can make sure the tweets are deleted. There are any number of ways you could remedy the situation where fans like myself will know that this is not accepted under CB. As of now, the tweet is still up. I just looked just before I tuned in. Now, the other thing that was interesting, right before I started this recording, I was glancing around and I saw Underground Geek. He highlighted a tweet by Max that says, "Trust me, being mentally ill is comedic. That is a very strange tweet, and I'm assuming that he has mental illnesses if he's talking about that. Now, I just did a broadcast on Mark Wade, who says he has struggled with depression, etc., etc., said it explains a lot. What a lot of people seemed to, they like to twist my words, right? So I'll do like a 19-minute video where I say like, be cognizant of this guy's mental issues, but, quote, hold his feet to the fire with truth and don't go out of your way to say mean-spirited things. That's a common sense observation. I'm not saying to let him get away with being a jerk. I would never do that. You need to speak the truth to people. But speaking high levels of truth, that excludes being mean just for the sake of being mean just to see if you could further inflict pain on someone who is in pain. Now, again, this is only one tweet. This is from Underground Geek sharing it. We'll just take this guy at his word. We'll assume that he is mentally ill. But, again, that doesn't excuse you from just acting like going totally rampant on social media. Now, CB, if CB knows that this guy has mental problems, one, I really want to know why so many people with mental problems seem to work at Marvel these days. I don't know what is, there's like some sort of vortex of like, you know, ideology, left-wing ideology and mental problems that's sucking these people into it. It's like a magnet for them. Like attracts like, I guess. I don't know. And I'm not making fun of his mental problems if he has them. I'm saying you need to take care of this. If you're an editor-in-chief and you hire people with mental problems, you need to tell them to take their medication before they sign on the social media. You need to tell them that if they don't take their medication, they need to not be on social media. Or you have to tell them that if they are going to tell fans, I effing hate you personally, fans who literally buy the books, then they need to just not be on Twitter. Because it's unacceptable. I will not buy any more Moon Knight books from Marvel. And if I like these books, I was going to recommend them to my brother who grew up reading Moon Knight, who got me into Moon Knight, who I know has plenty of disposable income these days to spend on Moon Knight. My other brother, I would recommend them to him. My brother spends a lot of money on comics. I talked about him yesterday. We read Doomsday Clock and talked about it on Facebook. So, and he's got a family. He's got daughters that, you know, I'm sure are reading comic books. In fact, I know for a fact that they read some comic books, more kid-friendly ones, obviously. But yeah, why would I give this guy money? And Marvel's not in a position these days where, I mean, you should never alienate fans. You should never call them, you know, names, say you effing hate them. You know, I was watching a diversity review earlier, and he was saying, like, you know, you never saw representatives from Crest toothpaste on Twitter, you know, saying, like, I effing hate you, go buy Colgate, you know, go buy whatever, I don't even know the other toothpaste brands, but, you know, Peter Pan peanut butter never told people, I effing hate you, go buy Jiffy. It's just bizarre that this is actually happening at Marvel these days. So, again, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So in the future, when subscribers say, like, Doug, why do you mention Marvel when you're talking about DC and how good they're doing? It's because of stuff like this. Because the people that work for Marvel, and we know that Dan Slott watches my stuff. We know that Nick Spencer watches my stuff. We know that Mark Wade watches my stuff. And I'm sure others do as well. And I even know that there are left-wing critics out there who watch my stuff as well. This is for them. You know, for the most part, the worst ideologues, it's never going to sink in, whether they're right or left. Ideologues, they've made up their mind. They've got their blinders on, their psychological blinders on. their spiritual blinders on. They've made up their mind. They're going to live for their ideology. So most of them, it's just going to bounce right off them. But there are people that actually can objectively look at situations and see how kind of sick and disgusting and twisted it is that a guy like this, after just coming out of a book, can just lash out at fans who have done nothing to him except say that the book was good. And I feel sad for people that really appreciate the craft of writing, who grew up with comic books and who love it, because there are good people out there that are making, you know, excellent books, and they're good artists, they're good writers, there's good editors, and you know, the guys at the top, you know, you get the Jim Lees out there in DC, they're doing really good things, but they're constantly being undercut. It's almost like Marvel subconsciously is just trying to destroy the industry or something like that. It's like they see what DC is doing, so they'd rather just take everybody out. You know, if we got to go out, we're taking everyone with us. Anyway, guys, thanks again for listening to this. I really appreciate it. I'll have a scripted review up probably Sunday. I got to see a movie for Conservative Book Club. The new Guillermo del Toro movie. Was it The Shape of Water? So I got to see that either Saturday or Sunday. Who knows? But I will try and get up a scripted review on Sunday. Anyway, thanks again to everybody, all the new subscribers. I think we're closing in on 5,000 or so, something along those lines. I don't know if it says here. But yeah, I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.
You guys still here? It's closing time, man. Listen, my friends, don't spend all night with Max Bemis, because he hates you. In fact, he said he effing hates you. But listen, I gotta go to bed. Just know that your friends, myself, Diversity in Comics, Cap Cummings, and the rest will always be there for you. We love you. Till then, take care.